Hello everyone. In the series of learning database management system, today we are going to see solved example of subqueries, nested queries, correlated nested query in SQL. So let's start with nesting of queries. So whenever I'm writing a query inside a query, it's nesting of query. So a complete select query called a nested query if we are specifying a query in the where clause of another query. So if you can see here, this select list from table where this is my outer query, and inside where again I'm specifying a complete query. This is my inner query, and altogether this will be known as nesting of queries. Subqueries. A subquery is a select statement that is embedded in a clause of another select statement. They can be very useful when you need to select rows from a table with a condition that depends on the data in the table itself. For that, we are using this subqueries. So we can place the subquery in number of SQL clause. We can use where clause, we can use having clause or from clause. All these things we can use. Now these subqueries can be single row subqueries or multiple row subquery. Whenever we want to fetch only one row, then we will apply single row subquery, and we will use single row comparison operator, that is equals to, greater than, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, or not equals to. This is not equals to. Then multiple row subqueries, whenever I want to fetch more than one row, I will apply multiple row subquery, and for that multiple row comparison operators are needed, for example in, any, or all. So we will use all these things using SQL command. We will use some examples, so all these things will be more clear. Last, we have correlated nested query. If a condition in where clause is nested query, reference an attribute of a relation declared in the outer query. So we are having an outer query, and inside that we are having one more query, and it will create a nested query. Whenever in the nested query we have some condition which gives the reference to the outer query, then they are correlated query. For example, if the output of the inner query is related with the uh, in will be used as an input of the outer query, then they are correlated query. So let's see all these things with the help of example. It will be more clear. So here I'm using this database where we are having this schema is there. So here I'm having a student table. This student table consists of 5 attributes. One is snum, it is a student number. Then we are having student name. There is a major, I have kept all the branches. And then there is a level. For level I have given junior level, senior level. And then there is an age of student. This a student table. Here this snum is the primary key, and it is used as a foreign key in enrolled table. Enrolled table is having two attributes, that is snum, from student table it is coming, and c name, that is coming from the class table, that is class name. So if you can see, class name is primary key here, and here it is coming as a foreign key. And all together here in enrolled table, this snum and c name I'm using as a primary key, means combination of both I'm creating it as a primary key. Here is a class table for which we are having class name. Where we are meeting means location of that class. So I have given this attribute as meet set. Name of this attribute is meet set. Room number. And then we are having a faculty ID as a foreign key for this table. This faculty ID is the primary key for faculty table, and this faculty table consists of faculty name and department ID. So this is one schema, and for this schema we are going to solve all these queries. So in SQL I have created all these tables So let me use first the database. For using the database, I'm writing use and the database name. So I have created the database with a name student DB. So I will use the database. Here I have created all the table. So let me show you the description of the table. For that I'm using DESC. One is student table. So here is my student table. As I told, snum is the primary key. Then another table is faculty table. So here is faculty table. So here faculty ID is the primary key. Then another one, I'm having one class table. So here is my class table. Here C name is the primary key and faculty ID is a foreign key. And at last I'm having a enrolled table. So here my num and C name combinedly creating a primary key, and it is coming from student and class table. I have entered value also inside this table. So for seeing the value, if you can see, select star from table name, and my first table is student. So select star from student. Some 6 values I have entered, different values. Similarly, let's see for class. So here I have entered few values for class. What are the class names, where the at what time we are meeting the class, and in which room number, and which faculty is teaching in that particular room. Similarly, I have mentioned few faculty names also in the faculty table. So these are few 9 records of faculty. And similarly, I have done this for enrolled table. So here is my enrolled table, all enrolled student, which class names, and student ID, which student is enrolled for which class, all those details I'm having. So let's solve the query one by one, it will be more clear. So first thing is find the name of all juniors. Now junior I have given in level. Find junior or senior. So find the name of all juniors who are enrolled in a class taught by Professor Narasimha. Fine. So here is the condition where professor name is given, and condition where level should be junior. But if you can see the schema, find the names of all juniors, means I'm talking about this student table. I want to fetch this S name. Here if you can see S num, who is enrolled in, who is enrolled for the class of Professor Narsimha. Now faculty and student are not directly connected, they are connecting through a table enrolled. In table enrolled also we are having student number, and then we are having this class name. That means I have to use class table as well. So here this class name is there. Using that reference I'm getting faculty ID, that which faculty is teaching this particular class, and using that faculty ID I can fetch that faculty name, because in condition it's saying professor name is Narsimha. So basically I have to use all the tables. Fine. So let's start the query. So I'm selecting from student table, and I'm giving a alias. So again and again I don't have to write full table names. So I'm using S for student. So I'm writing S dot this attribute name, and attribute for student name I have given as S name. So I'm writing select S dot S name from which table, from student table, and I will use student, and I'm giving alias S. So I'm writing student S. I can write it like this also, student as S. That's also the same thing. Now next I have to join it with class table, because class name will come from class table. So I am writing a comma. Comma means I'm joining. Then class, for alias I'm using C for class. Then from where they are enrolled, that thing will come from enrolled table. and for enrolled I'm using the alias E, and finally I have to use faculty name also, so I'm writing faculty, and alias I'm using for faculty as F. So basically we have to use all the tables for this query. So with comma I'm joining all these tables. Now I'm giving the condition where, now what we want, where, now if you can see the schema, this snum, if we will check the schema, this snum of student, it should be equals to snum of enrolled, and after that the C name of enrolled should be equals to C name of class. After that this CFID should be equals to FFID. Then we will remove the duplicate row which or redundant row which are created because of all this join. So let's put the condition one by one. S dot S num should be equals to E dot, for enroll I have used E dot S num, and another condition I have to give, from enrolled I'm taking this C name, class name, so E dot C name should be equals to C dot C name. Next, what is the condition we want? Next, from class we will get faculty ID. So C dot FID should be equals to F dot FID, right? So all this will remove my redundant tuples. Now, in the query it's given, in the query what's given, that level should be junior and professor name is Narasimha. Okay, so let's write, and level should be junior. Level is coming from which table? If you can see, level is coming from student table. In student we have level, and Professor Narsimha is the faculty name in faculty table. Fine, so here I'm writing, and S for student I'm using the alias S, so S dot level is equals to, now junior, junior is having a varchar data type, so for that I'm using single quotes, and professor name is Narsimha, so that is coming from faculty table, so I'm using the alias F dot F name, faculty name, F dot name. For faculty name I have given the attribute name as F name only, so I'm using F name as it is, and professor name is Narsimha. So I'm writing F dot F name is equals to, and that's it. So this is the final query where we have joined all the tables. Then we are putting the condition. So my redundant tuples will be eliminated. And we are putting the condition what's asked in the question, that level should be junior and faculty name should be Narsimha. If you will run this query, you will finally find the student name, and that student is Abhi. So let's check the table. So first condition we have kept, that student name from student table, student num from student table, it should be same to student num in the enrolled table. So if we check for Abhi, 101 in student table, and if you check in enrolled table, here you will get 101. Now 101 are coming, he is enrolled in so many classes. So if you can see, for CSC 1, for CSC 4, and for CSC 6, three classes he is enrolled, for CSC 1, for CSC 4, and for CSC 6. So this data will be coming from S.snum is equals to E.snum. Then further condition is E.cname should be same as C.cname. So for CSC 1, 4, and 6 should be there in class table. So if you will check class table, for CSC 1, 4, and 6 are here. Now we have to check after that that faculty ID of these people. So if we will see, for CSE1 is taught by 1001 faculty ID, for CSE4 is taught by 1002, and for CSE6 is taught by 1004. Now this faculty ID should be matching with the faculty table faculty ID. So 101, 102 and 104 are there, and then we have kept the condition that level should be junior. So for Abhishek, for that Abhi student, level will be junior, and faculty name should be Narsimha. So it will check 101. So here faculty name is Professor James, it will not come. For 1002 for Professor Sunil, it will not come. But finally here the condition will match 1004. So faculty name Professor Narsimha will come. And here if you can check for the student table, for student table if we will check, Abhi is having the level junior. So by all these condition we will get the final output for that query. Okay, let's see the another query. Find the name of all classes that either meet in room KG04, that means I'm talking about class table and attribute is meet set KG04, or have 5 or more students enrolled. That means that particular class, either it should have more than 5 student or 5 student, or the room number is KG04. Okay, so let's start. We are talking about class. So select from class table. I'm giving a alias C for the class, and we are talking about we have to select class name. Fine. From class table, so I'm writing from class table, alias for class is C, where the condition given to me is C dot room number. What it is given, KG04, it should be KG04. So here I'm writing the room number KG04. Now one condition is this, or another condition, C dot C name. Now multiple rows will come, so I have to use in C dot, here I have to write or C dot C name in, because multiple rows I have to check. So I'm writing comparison operator in, and here I have to select. So from where I have to select? Now enrolled students I will get from enrolled table. So for enrolled table I'm using the alias E, and from there I'm checking that E dot C name from which table, from enrolled table. So for enrolled I am mentioning E as alias. Now we will group by, because there can be a possibility that different for CSE1, inside for CSE1 so many students are enrolled. So for CSE1 can become more than one time, for CSE4 can come more than one time. So all these classes we will group together. So I'm writing group by, and then from enrolled table I'm checking that this enrolled table E dot C name having, now the condition is having, condition it can have 5 or more students, right? So I have to count. So I'm using the aggregate function count, and here I'm using count star greater than or equals to, count star greater than or equals to 5. So if you can see my nested query, those who don't know about count star, this count star is a function that will return the number of rows that satisfy um, the where clause, because we are writing this in where clause. So this count star we will check for a select statement. If you can see here, we are having, with having clause we are writing not only where clause, with having or from or where, wherever I'm writing this count star, it will return the number of rows that this clause will satisfy. It preserves duplicate rows as well, and it count each and every row separately, and it will include rows with null values also. So this is the work of this count function. Fine. Now, so I hope this query is clear. We are selecting that particular course name from class table, which is happening either in KG04, or for the that particular course more than 5 students are enrolled. So if we can check this query, so for CSC 10 is the class. So let's see, let me do select star from class. So for CSC 10, okay, so for CSC 10 is happening in KG04. I think that's where the value came. So this condition is satisfied that the class name room number is KG04. If we check the data of enrolled table, so if you can see the data of enrolled table, um, it will group all these, because see 4 CSC5, 4 CSC5, 4 CSC5, it's coming thrice. So all this will come together. But if you can see, only 3 students are there in 4 CSC5. 4 student, one is here also. Then 4 CSC6, 4 CSC6, 4 CSC6, uh, 4 CSC6 is here, and that's it. 4 CSC6, only one student is there. 4 CSC7, only one student is there. For CSC 8 and 9, also one student. For CSC 10, also one student. So if you can see, actually we are not having any course in which there are more than 5 student or equals to 5 student. But there was the condition that was or. That's why for CSC 10 came to our resultant table, because it's happening in KG04. So if you can see this query, here in this query, this condition, select C name from class C where C dot room number is equals to KG04. This was true. That's why we got 4 CSC10. This inside nested query, that it should have student enrolled for that particular course greater than or equals to 5. This condition is false. So nothing came from this side. Okay, let's see another query. Find the name of all students who are enrolled in two classes that meet at the same time. Means there is a clash between the time of those classes, and there is a student who is enrolled for both the classes. Okay, so I'm writing select, and I want that particular student details. So I'm writing select distinct, and let me fetch all the details. So I'm writing star. If I want only student name, I can write s.s name also from student table. And this student table I will use as s, so I have to use alias. So here I should write select distinct s dot star, as we do for any column name, s dot alias dot column name, s dot s dot s name, or s dot s num. Similarly, when I want to fetch all the details, I have to write s dot star. So student, I will use s as alias, where s dot s num. Now we have to check this. Now multiple rows I have to check. So s dot s num in, and I have to select. Now enrolled table, each and every snum of enrolled will be compared with itself. That means I want self join. So this enrolled table I will use even. At one time I will call it as even, so I'm writing even dot snum from enrolled even. I'm calling this enrolled as even, comma. Next time will call it as E2, so there will be a self join. So I'm using enrolled E2. Then we have to find out the class, right? So I have to use class table also. So I'm using class as C1 and class as C2. So here if you can see, we are doing the self joins enrolled E1, E2, class C1, C2. There will be a join for all these tables. And now let's put the conditions. So here we will put the condition where. Now E1 dot snum should be equals to E2 dot snum. When student number is same, then only we will be able to catch that student, right? And its course should not be same, because we have to find out they should be enrolled in different courses. So I will write E1 dot CNAME should not equals to, so not equals to E2 dot CNAME, correct? And now what I have to check? Now I have to check that this enrolled course is there in, it should be there in class table also. This enrolled for this class is there in class table as well. So I have to write here uh, E1 dot CNAME, this class name, it should be equals to C1 dot CNAME from class table. And similarly for the other course, E2 dot CNAME is equals to C2 dot CNAME, right? And one condition is given there, that they should meet in the same room. It should be a clash in the uh, that timing. It should be clash in the timing. And timing, if you can see the table here, is in the column meet sets is recording our timing. So here we have to give the condition that C1 dot meet set, C1 dot meet set is equals to C2 dot meet set. Fine. So let's see the query again so it will be more clear. Select distinct, we are finding out all the details. So s dot star from student, where s dot snum in, what we are selecting, select E1 dot snum from enrolled table. So enrolled table, we are using this particular snum column. So one time we are calling it as E1, another time I'm calling it as E2, and I'm comparing E1 dot snum is equals to E2 dot snum. That means this s number should be common, and the class name should not be same. Fine, then only we will be able to find the which two classes are coming on the same time, right? So student number should be common, but class name should not be common. And then we will check that particular class name from E1 to course table C1, from E2 to course table C2. And then there is one more condition, that the timing of those classes should be same. So C1 dot meet set is equals to C2 dot meet set. So if we can see, if you can see, Jayant is the student 106 who is enrolled at this, he who is enrolled for the two classes at the same time. So let's see for Jayant what we have done. Let's see the condition one by one so it will be more clear. E1 dot snum. So if you can see enrolled table. So here is my enrolled table. This is my enrolled table. My condition is E1 dot snum is equals to E2 dot snum. We will compare here 101, 101. In fact, we should compare full, or we will take two conditions, so comparison will be easy. E1 dot snum is equals to E2 dot snum, and E1 dot CNAME not equals to E2 dot CNAME. So if you can see for 1014 CSC1, 1014 CSC4, 1014 CSC6. Correct. Both conditions satisfy. Similarly, 1064 CSC1, 1064 CSC12. So both conditions satisfy. Like this, we have to take. And E1 dot CNAME is equals to C1 dot CNAME. So if we can see for Jayant, 1064 CSC 11, 1064 CSC 11 and 1064 CSC 12, 1064 CSC 11, if I will check here in the enrolled table, for CSC 6 and for CSC 11 for Jayant, for CSC 11, for CSC 12 and for CSC 5. So these three things I have to check in class table. For CSC 11, for CSC 12 and for CSC 5. So see, for CSC 5, no problem, it's coming at 1. But if you can see, for CSC 11 and 12, both are coming at 10. So here is the clash. So who is the student who is enrolled for this? For 4 CSC 11 and 12 both, for 11 and 12 both, 106 is enrolled. That's why details of Jayant are coming in front of us. Okay, next query. Find the name of students enrolled in the maximum number of classes. Okay, so if I want to rephrase this query, I can tell like this for simplification. Find the name of the students who enrolled the number of classes greater than or equals to all other student did. Fine. So let's see this query. So from student table, I have to fetch the data. So here, let me write just see student table detail. So select star from student. Okay, select star from student. Okay, fine. So I want to find out, and from enrolled table, because I want to find out the student who is enrolled. Okay, so that's my student table and this is my enrolled table. And I want to find out the name of the students who enrolled the number of classes greater than or equals to other students. So if we just see here, if you can see, 101 is coming 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. So 101 is 3 time, 105 is 1 time and 2 time, 106 is 1, 2, 3 time, 102 is 2 time, 4 is 2 time. So basically 101 and 106 should be my answer because both have enrolled 3 times, which is greater than or equals to other student, because others are 2 times. So 101, that means Abhi, and 106, that means Jayant. They should come. Fine. Okay, that was manual. Now let's do this by nesting of query. So we have to do select. I have to find out student name. So s dot s name, and only one time the name should come. So I'm using the keyword distinct. Okay, from student table. So I'm using alias s, where now student table we have the common thing as snum. So s dot snum. And now I'm writing the nesting of query. Now multiple rows I have to select because we have to compare with multiple rows, right? So I'm using the comparison operation in select. For enrolled table, I will use the alias e. So I'm writing e dot snum from enrolled, and I'm giving the table name. I'm giving the alias as e. Now I will group by, because if you can see, 101 is also thrice, 106 is also thrice, 105 is 2 times. So we will group them. So group by here, e dot snum having e dot snum having, and what I have to do with having clause, I have to count. So multiple rows I have to count. So this we have used earlier also in one query. I have to use what? I have to use count star. Fine. Should be greater than or equals to all. Again, all I'm using for comparison. So all, and here I will write nested query select count. And what we are counting? We are counting snum. We are counting the snum, right? From enrolled table. mm, so for this internal query, I'm calling this enrolled as E2, and I will group it with E2 dot snum. Okay, so how my output will come? Um, it will count the S number from this table. Then for this query, it will count the S number and it will check which one is greater or equals to. So as you can see, 101 and 106 is having more than others. So only that S num will come from this internal query. Outside, what we are doing, we are fetching their name. Fine. So if we will run this, you can see Abhi and Jayant. So from student table, if you will check, Abhi is 101 and Jayant is 106. Fine. So we have done the comparison with all others. We have counted the SNUM using group by their SNUM. So here from this internal query, we have done comparison for 101 and 106 from this internal query, and we got the maximum 101 and 106 because they were greater than all others, and their name we have displayed. Okay, next, find the name of faculty members for whom the combined enrollment of the course that they teach is less than 5. So basically we have just seen the enrolled table. Actually there is not at all, not even a single course is there where uh, enrollment is more than 5. So I think all faculty names we will get in the result for this. So let's solve this. um, we have to find faculty name. So select faculty name. So distinct I'm using, and I want faculty table, and I will give alias as F, and here I will use F faculty name. I have written F name as attribute name from faculty table. So faculty F, where F dot FID in, because multiple rows I have to compare. So select. Now faculty table is not directly related with enrolled, if we remember. Yes, faculty table is related with class, and then class is related with enrolled. So we have to use class in between. So select C dot FID is equals to, select C dot FID. Now from which table? From class table. So from class, alias I have given is C. Now I have to join it with enroll table. So enrolled E. Now we can give the condition. So where C dot C name is equals to, in enroll table also we have this. So E dot C name. Now On the basis of this, we will group by C dot FID having what we want, that this count number of students should be greater than or equals to 5. So having count star greater than equals to 5. Fine. So why we are using class table? We are using class table because faculty and enrolled are not directly connected. So to combine enroll and faculty, we have to take help of class table. And here we are putting the condition that all those rows I want where students enrolled are greater than or equals to 5. So if you can see, if let's check faculty table also. So select star from faculty, and all these faculty, how many? 9 faculties I have, and here also 9 rows selected. So basically in enrolled table, we are not having any student number who is enrolled more than, who is enrolled in 5 classes or more than 5 classes. So if we see enrolled table, so we have checked 101 and 106, they are enrolled in 3 classes and that's maximum. Others are just enrolled for 2 classes. Fine. So if the same query I will change to, if I will change the condition here, greater than or equals to, if I will do 3, because I know that 101 and 106 are enrolled for that. So then okay, so all the faculties greater than or equals to 3. So all these faculties are teaching them. Okay. Next, they are part of these classes where these faculties are teaching. Okay. Okay, last query. Um, find the age of the oldest student who is enrolled in the course taught by faculty named Sunil. So we have Professor Sunil, and we have to find out the age of the student whom this Professor Sunil is teaching, all those students whom Professor Sunil is teaching, who is the eldest. We have to find out this. Okay. So if I do this without nested query, how I should do? I should write select. This I'm doing without nested query. Then I will do with nested also, so it will be clear. S dot age from student table, because age is there in a student table. I will combine this with class. So C, I will combine enrolled. So E, then there is faculty. F, where S dot snum is equals to, now snum is there in enroll table, so E dot snum, and from enrolled table we will get class name. So E dot C name is equals to C dot C name, and from class we will get this FID. So C dot FID is equals to F dot FID. So this will remove my all duplicate rows. Fine. And what is the condition? That professor name should be Sunil. So f dot f name is equals to Sunil. F dot f name is equals to, okay, I have given f dot f name. Okay, here I have forgot and. So and f dot f name is equals to Sunil. So if we will see the student table, select star from student. Who is 20 years old? Bhavya and Jayanta 20 years old, and their ID is 103 and 106. So if I check enrolled table, 103 and 106. 106 for CSC 11, 12, 5, and this is 3 and 8. Then I will see class table. So here if we can see, in fact, here if we can see faculty table first, so it will be easy because Professor Sunil, where is Professor Sunil? 1002 is Professor Sunil. So here if we will check 1002, 1002 is teaching for CSE 3 and for CSE 4. So Professor Sunil is teaching in for CSE 3 and for CSE 4. And if we can see for CSE 3 and for CSE 4, 103 and 101 is enrolled. So for CSE 3, for CSE 4, student number 103 and 101 is enrolled. And then we will see student table. 101 is 19-year-old and 102 is 20 years old. So finally we are getting the maximum age, that is 20, whom Professor Sunil is teaching. So this was without nesting. Now let's solve this query with nesting. So how I should write? Select now max s dot h. So this is my maximum function. This is aggregate function which will give me maximum age. So s dot h from student s, where s dot snum in, because multiple rows I have to select and I have to do nesting. So internal query will be select e dot snum. Now again, because we have to combine all and they are not having direct connection, so e dot snum from enrolled table, comma, select e dot snum from enrolled e, comma, class C, comma, faculty F. Right? Now here we will give the condition. So where e dot C name is equals to C dot C name and C dot FID is equals to F dot FID, and finally F dot F name is equals to, and we want what? We want Professor Sunil. So here I'm writing Professor Sunil. Fine. So when we will run this again, as you can see, Professor Sunil is teaching Bhavya and one other student, I think Abhi, and Abhi is 19 years old and Bhavya is 20 years old. So this data we are getting. So I hope all these 5 queries are clear to you. That's it for today. Thank you.